If you're working as a product manager or tech professional right now and ready to escape the 9 to 5 to start living your best life as either a consultant, course creator, or coach, then you have come to the right place. My name is Rich, and I've been a professional consultant, course creator, and coach for the past 5 years. You may have even heard of my other company called Product Gym, one of the largest product management training programs that USA Today ranked as the third best online education company in the country back in December of 2021. In this channel, I'm going to go ahead and share with you all of the secrets and proven strategies I had to learn through trial and error. Hit the red subscribe button right now, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell to stay up to date on all of our latest videos. Welcome to Boss Foundry. We got another podcast here with my friend Jory Bell, former product manager over there at Audible, Spotify, SoundCloud, basically any wavelength related company. And she's been doing product management for more than 12 years going on now, right?
Yeah.
And recently decided to go into coaching and consulting. For the audience members that don't know you, I think you're quite known here in the New York product management scene, but tell us a little bit more about your background.
Wow, I'm honored. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. I famously fell into product management. It was not intentional. It was at an interesting time when product managers were just starting to not need a CS degree to actually do product management. I actually majored in journalism at the University of Wisconsin-Madison and really just took a role in New York so that I could move to New York. And I got lucky. I worked under a product manager and got introduced to the field from there. Found out it was pretty interesting and applicable to my skills in communication and writing, and I kind of never left. That's like the short of it, of how I landed in product management.
So did you try to go for like a journalism job first, or like?
I did. I got put in contact with someone at the Huffington Post for a position there, and it was a recruiter, and she said, you know what, there's this other job I have at AOL. It'll pay you a little bit more. And at that time I was, just trying to make it in New York, and was like, sure, I don't really care. If it's a little bit more, sounds great. And so I wasn't really married to the journalism career, obviously. So I went with the role that was paying a little bit more so that I could facilitate a move to New York City.
After 12 years in the game, what kind of led to the decision of going into coaching and consulting?
Yeah, so this was maybe accidental as well. So I actually found myself in a position last year where I was looking for my own coach. And I ended up joining a peer coaching circle through the Women in Product group when I wasn't necessarily ready to find a coach on my own, which is ironic because, I am very well versed in therapy and I really appreciate getting, that help from other folks. But that experience really inspired me to experiment more with mentoring. I get hit up a lot on LinkedIn and other channels about my journey. And so I started taking more calls and found that I was actually enjoying not just, sharing about my career journey, but really helping some PMs and aspiring PMs solve their problems. And so I started doing that more and more and realized how much I loved it. And I actually started transitioning into coaching in the winter. And then I made that leap to go full-time this spring, where I'm doing coaching and consulting and teaching right now at Cornell Tech.
How long would you say the journey took, like between like thinking about doing it to actually getting paid to do it, and then now obviously being able to make the decision of going in full-time?
Yeah, I really ran it like a PM, as one does. I very quickly got sucked into, I'm like, okay, I like this. How do I set up some experiments to validate if this is something I enjoy doing and if there's value I'm providing? So I probably started the coaching circle in August or September of 2022, and I mentored through December. So that was a couple months. And I was also working full time. So I didn't necessarily have like so much time, but I was starting to see patterns and think, and at that time, actually doing a lot of outreach to other coaches and consultants to learn more about the field, which was totally new to me. I signed up for a bunch of mentoring platforms. And in January is when I actually was able to start transitioning folks into paid coaching. So it was only a couple months, and it was really scary to do, but I had a lot of support through the community that I built for myself online and folks that I had spoken to. And I went for it.
Well, with that said, what's like a day in the life looking like for you now since you're doing this full time? Like, are the hours as crazy as Audible or Spotify or?
So right now I'm coaching, I have like a pretty full load of people I'm coaching right now, doing some advising, and then I'm teaching. So I am definitely working probably more than I ever have, but I'm also feeling more fulfilled than I ever had, which was kind of the goal of this. And I think naturally happens when you're trying to start a business and trying to figure things out. So though I'm putting more hours in and they're more chaotic, I'm having a lot more fun, which is, why I came to product in the first place. I enjoy building things. But a day in the life, Cornell Tech, I'm on campus 2 days a week, which has been like really great to structure my weeks. I'm on campus 2 days a week, and then I'm doing coaching about 3 days a week. And then I have certain rituals that I put into place. I have a coaching group, a peer group of coaches that I meet with on Mondays and Wednesdays. We do some intention setting and we kind of just check in with one another, which has been really helpful. An old colleague once said to me, the only thing that you can control is your morning. So I am really diligent about structuring my mornings in a way that feels productive. And I try and harness that as much as I can because the day can get away from you, as we all know.
What would you recommend to any product manager out there right now, or somebody that's like working in tech that's always thought about maybe they can get into coaching and consulting? What would you recommend for them?
Oh, I would totally recommend, which I've actually done with some of my coaching clients, is get on the mentorship platforms. There's so many out there right now, Merit, adplist.org, where you can just start to see, hey, is this interesting? Like, am I enjoying it? I always try and lead with, is it something I like doing? And then is it something I could monetize in the future? There's so many different platforms out there to try mentoring, and you don't really have to do much. You create a profile, they'll promote you, people contact you, they handle the scheduling. So it's very hands off, which is amazing. And I would totally recommend doing that. And I would recommend it also not just to get into mentoring or coaching, but it's a really great way to kind of get out of your head when you're dealing with struggles at work or you're needing some perspective. Helping someone else is always a really great avenue as well.
What probably one of the most important questions is that a lot of product managers probably thinking about in coaching is how do you set your rates? It's crazy because most product managers are making like 150, 200K plus, right? And then all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden they're like, okay, so how do I go out there and price my offering? Like, do I sell it as a package or like a la carte? Like, what were
Yeah.
utilizing your pricing skills? How'd you hit it?
Yeah, well, honestly, it's just been a lot of experimentation. I've actually done a lot of willingness to pay research with customers, like in a product sense, like thinking about subscriptions and things that I've built. So I know some of that work and how to kind of ask questions, but this is totally different. So I think, at the onset, doing a lot of market research, being overwhelmed, quite frankly, at like the different ranges of what people are charging. And I've just been running experiments. So, what does a bundle look like? How does that convert a package deal with a discount? How does it work if I just do it one off? I think it varies by market, it varies by level. So, what I'm doing, again, as a product manager, is really diligently tracking like when I do bring someone on, what is the data around that to support that price point. So I've been really trying to be flexible and experiment rather than say this is exactly what I'm going to do. And I have some goals. Of course, like you said, I had a salary in the beginning of this year that I would love to kind of work back to, but I've been fortunate enough to have a little bit of runway to be experimental and figure out what the right rates are and what the right cadences and number of clients that I'm working with is, so I don't burn out. Because that's the last thing I want to do is do something that I love but really burn out on it. So all that to say, there's a lot of different tactics that I've used, but it's all just been experimenting to figure out what's sticking.
I wish you luck on the coaching journey.
Thank you.
Tough, but I can tell you it's fulfilling and rewarding at the same time. I'm interested to see, like in 3 months from now, whether or not you still
Yeah.
like as much as you do. Where do you think you're going to be like 3 to 6 months from now with the coaching?
Yeah, I remember when we spoke last week, you're like, tell me about the decision to leave product. And I think I want to be clear with myself, with you, that like I don't view it as a decision to leave product. I'm kind of thinking about this as I'm looking for new ways to use my skills and I'm flexing my brain in new ways and I'm learning so much. And I basically set out this year to kind of learn how my product brain works in different kinds of spaces. So for me, I'm coaching, I'm consulting, I'm teaching, and I think by the end of this year, maybe in 3 months' time, I want to kind of figure out where I want to double down and invest more. And so I'm viewing all of these as MVPs and experiments to kind of figure out, okay, next year, do I want to continue doing this? Like, does this still feel good? Or am I really craving going back into a corporate environment, a company environment? There's a lot of things I miss about that beyond the stability of a job, which is, the united mission to build something and having colleagues that you're kind of checking in with. Hopefully one day, if I did go back to a full-time job, being with people in person is really important to me, which is one of the benefits of working on campus right now. I think I would love in 3 months to kind of figure out where I want to double down or pivot and be open to either.
Well, I'm interested to see where that goes as well. So, Dory, thank you so much for taking time to come and speak with us. Looking forward to seeing how the journey turns out.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.